everyone, and welcome back to Fear the Final Girl, a Van Ryder Games podcast. I'm your host, Jamie, and joining me again this month is my co-host, Evan. Hi, Evan.
Hi, Jamie.
How's it going?
It's going swimmingly.
Oh, that's a fun word.
I know. Next week is, as we're recording this, next week is Thanksgiving, and I will be in Portugal.
Oh, that's fun.
I know.
Very exciting. Nice and warm.
Gonna have drink, eat some Portuguese turkey and
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna drink lots and lots of port.
Well, there you go. That sounds like a win to me. Our guest today, I feel like, needs no introduction to our community. Everybody already knows you. You're well known in the Discord as someone who rolls dice almost as good as me. I mean, there can only be one 2-star queen. But we have Jonesy with us today, the Van Ryder Games social media coordinator and community manager. Jonesy, we're excited to have you with us. Maybe tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I went by Jonesy, Final Dad, Josh, but Jonesy's the one that kind of stuck around. So I've been around for 3 years. I think it's 3 years. It was like 2022. Yeah, really got into Final Girl like after season one, I think, shit, like retail. And so I've been kind
Right.
of around before that. I joined the Discord before playing any Van Ryder games, so that was fun.
What a fun thing to do.
Found the Discord and found the community. Thought it was really cool. But it was right around the time that I saw Final Girl. So
Right.
yeah,
That's awesome.
it was really
Great.
cool.
Well, we're excited to have you with us for today's episode, everybody. Just so you know, we are celebrating and chatting about our journey to the top 100 on Board Game Geek, which is a milestone that has been achieved, which is very awesome. We'll chat about we'll chat about our community, catch up with Jonesy a little, see what he's got going on in the community, and just some general, good old Final Girl fun, which is what we like to do around here. But that's what we have in store for you today. Now I'll hand it over to Evan.
Well, this is the part on our show where we talk about what we have been up to. So, Jonesy, since you are our guest, I don't know if I call you Josh or Jonesy. I guess I just call you Jonesy. It's still weird because it's like sometimes I'm like Josh and then sometimes I'm like Jonesy. And it's, you know what? We'll just use them both. It's just whatever I feel like, unless you tell me like I only want to be called this, and then I will call you that. Otherwise, I'm just going to call you what I feel like in the moment.
Whatever
I feel like.
What have you been experiencing, watching, playing, reading?
Oh, that's good. I've been playing Blueprints a little bit. That one's I really like that one. So I've been playing that. Read through Strange Houses, which was a really unique, short little book. About a house that doesn't fit a blueprint. And so it's got some kind of weird stuff going on behind it. And I thought that, like, I haven't sat and read a book in one sitting in a long time. And that was, I'm going to power through this and read the whole thing in one sitting.
How many pages?
It took me about 3 hours to read. It was more like a novella.
Yeah, like a novella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the author has two of them. Strange Houses was the first one I read, and then I just got Strange Pictures, which is similar kind of concept, it seems. Like, there's pictures drawn by a child, and they're kind of weird, and I haven't gotten that far into it. So the first one is...
Are they strange?
They are strange.
Oh, that makes sense.
The one for Strange Houses is this friend is looking to buy a house and notices that the house seems laid out differently than the blueprint shows, and they can't figure out why there's a wall in a certain spot. And so then they kind of do this investigative telling of the guy trying to like figure out what's going on with the house. And it was really interesting. Movie wise, watched The Substance and Good Boy. Those were the two.
How was good?
Good Boy is in the one with the dog, right?
Yeah.
I just watched that too, like
It
last
was
week.
so good. I really liked it. It was like a really unique take on a horror
Yeah.
movie.
It's hard to watch a dog being scared, but it was like that's what captivated you the whole time. You're like, what? What's he see? What's he doing? And he was such a good boy. It
Oh
was
yeah.
so cute.
I found out there's also another movie called Good Boy, which is a very different
Yes. It's
horror
a
movie.
Korean film, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
uh,
boy or old boy?
Good Boy.
Good Boy. There is one
Old
called
Boy
Good
is a
Boy. Yeah.
very different
Okay.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it is very different.
Yeah, it was. I went and saw Boy in the theater, and they did a like featurette afterwards. I think the movie's only like 90 minutes. Like, it's super short, and it was the director talking about like it's just his dog,
Yeah.
and they shot this movie over like 3 or 4 years, and the dog is not like a trained acting dog. It's just like
No.
we're gonna spend 8 hours to get 15 seconds of footage, and that's our day today.
Yeah.
And so it was
Wow.
really cool. But yeah, the dog is super expressive. That was really cool.
What about you, Jamie?
Well, I have been on a horror movie binge. Obviously, it was spooky season, so when in Rome, you gotta. Jeff and I went through the entire Conjuring series, the whole universe. We had never seen the movies before, and so it felt like a good time. And we had some ups, we had some downs. We had, I wish, like, because you know, the real Annabelle doll, like, it's a Raggedy Ann doll. And I had one of those when I was
Yeah.
growing up. And I feel like that would have been even scarier for me because I'm like, oh my God, I had one of those. But yeah, I really enjoyed the series. I think there's like weirdly, I didn't enjoy the Nun 1, but I loved the Nun 2. I really liked the second Annabelle, but not so much the first Annabelle. So I was kind of all over the map with it, but I definitely think it's worth going through the series if you haven't done it before because I love the crossover of everything.
Did you finish with the Last Rites movie
Yes.
that was in theaters?
Yes, that is the one that we end it with, which I liked, but it was too much of a family movie for me. I was like, where are the scares? So I understood why they did it the way they did, but I think I just wanted a little bit more from the last one, but that's fine. And then I watched a movie called Deadstream. Have you guys seen Deadstream?
Yes, I
I've
have.
not seen it.
Deadstream.
I've heard good things though.
Oh,
It
was
seems like it's going to be the
awesome.
dumbest movie ever, but it is
Yeah.
actually really good.
Actually so good. And because like we didn't know anything about it and our friends were like, let's watch this. And you see it's a guy that live streams going into a haunted house and he's such a dislikable streamer,
Yeah.
but there's something also extremely endearing about him. And like he's in this haunted house and the first thing that he sees is a spider and he's like, spiders. And the whole thing he screams like you would picture a cartoon character to scream. It's like anyways, it's really really good, worth a watch. I knew nothing about it and I enjoyed it immensely. So but yeah, I've just been watching, like I watched The Long Walk, I've rewatched Sinners. We've been on a bit of a horror movie rip. Watched Good Boy, so it was a good month for sure.
I have been playing, not even horror related. I've been playing Arc Raiders. That's all I can think about. It is the most addicting game I've played in over a decade.
Really? What system do you
Have
play
you played?
on?
I play on the PS5, but you can
Okay.
play on the PC or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played it yet, Jamie?
Mm-mm. No, Jeff
Do you
is
know what
in
I'm talking about?
I don't, because all that has been played in our house right now is Ball Pit. I don't know if you've heard of that, but that's
Oh.
that is the addiction in the house right now. But no, I haven't even heard of this game.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh! It is
I would like it.
It's an extraction looter shooter.
Okay.
I could explain it, and it will just sound like a hodgepodge of a whole bunch of other games. Like
Right.
it doesn't particularly come off as anything unique, but it is like distilled and refined down to the purest and best versions of. So basically, you just load into a map for 30 minutes. You run around. You try to loot a bunch of stuff that you'll take back to upgrade your weapons, upgrade your workbenches, upgrade your chicken. You have a pet chicken named
Oh,
Scrappy.
fun.
Yeah. You can buy little hats and stuff for them if you really want to go that route.
Yeah.
And So you just load in, and then you make it out, or you don't. And if you don't make it out, you lose all your stuff for that run. That's it.
Right. That sounds fun.
But what it does is it uses proximity chat really, really well. So you run into other people, and as you get close to them, you can talk to them.
Oh.
And they can literally just blast you away and take your stuff. Or they could become your friend. And now you're running around this map with this person who might kill you and take all your stuff, but maybe they're as nice as they say they're being.
Right.
And that creates an amazing amount of social tension that turns every run into something completely unique.
That's interesting. Arc Raiders, is that what you said it was called?
Yes. Arc Raiders.
Have to look into it.
If I like, part of me was just like, no, you probably don't want to, because it's going to, you are going to become obsessed with it like I am. I mean, I literally I wake up in the morning and I hear the Arc Raiders theme song playing in my head.
Yeah.
Like, I've been having dreams about Arc Raiders. Like, that's
a good game then.
Dreaming. I was just, and now I'm like sitting here and I'm like, man, I wish I was just playing Arc Raiders.
That's when you know you're addicted. That's like literally what Jeff is like with this ball pit game right now. And it's so stressful and confusing to watch, but it's like a rogue light. And you're like trying to kill off these things, and then you're building out your little community or whatever. I'm confused by it, but he seems to be obsessed. So
load it up, run it, and then you'll get Jeff to run it, and then both of you will be addicted, and you'll play it together.
And that'll be
when
it.
That happens, you text me and be like,
"You were right."
All I do is play Arc Raiders all the time.
Amazing.
In terms of like horror stuff, I watched the first episode of Welcome to Derry.
I haven't started it.
Which I started it. It's like, it feels odd. Like, starting out, I'm like, I don't know what I'm like. It's kind of, it's like in the 1950s. It's set in Derry. It's like the It universe. A kid goes missing, all this kind of stuff. So it's got like a lot of the same elements that made, that's in It.
Right.
But it starts out, it just feels kind of meandering, and I'm like, what is really going on here? And then it gets to the end of the first episode, and it like really, it really shows up in the last 5 minutes. I was like, oh my gosh. I turned to my son. My son's watched, I think there are only 4 episodes out so far. My son's watched all of them. And he was just like, Dad, we gotta watch the first episode of Welcome to Derry. I was like, okay. And halfway through, I'm like, man, this is really dull. And he's like, yeah, I know. And then we get to the end, and I look over at him, and I'm like, did they just do that? And he goes, yup. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I gotta start watching it. I have a problem though. Yeah. Like, I like to be able to binge a show, and so if it's coming out week by week, I'm like, I better just wait. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I started Welcome to Derry, though.
The first 5 minutes is super weird.
It is.
Like, it's kind of scary, but also kind of dumb. Yeah. It's really hard to know exactly what's going on, and it also doesn't really play out. And you get to the end, it kind of plays out anyway. It's weird, but you'll see what I mean if you watch it.
Oh, I will.
All right, so every month. We do this monthly. Every month on the podcast, we like to feature a game of the month, and of course, as this is Van Ryder Games podcast, we feature games that we make here at Van Ryder Games. And so our featured game this month is Tales of Myth and Legend, which we have just put up like yesterday, 2 days ago as of the recording of this, on GameFound, and it's a pre-order. So it's not a crowdfunding campaign where there's like a time limit and funding amounts and stretch goals and all that kind of stuff. It is a pre-order, so you can just show up, see if you like what's there. We've got a set price for the product, and then you can pre-order it, and it's almost ready to go to the printer right now. So you will be getting it very quickly. So it's not going to be this long, 10-month. Oh, look at the files we got and all this kind of stuff. So it's a genuine pre-order and that it's ready to go. But Tales of Myth and Legend is a narrative storybook game set in the world of Greek mythology. So if you've played Tales of Arabian Nights, or the new one, Tales of Arthurian Nights. I think that's the new one. If you've played those, there's a few other paragraph games that have existed out there. But if you play those and you want one of those, but with Greek mythology, then that is a perfect explanation of the game. So it's got incredible art. It's got over 150,000 words. It's competitive, but competitive in a way that some of the other storybook games are not. So it's like genuinely competitive. Like you actually feel like you're, on the path to winning, and it's not like just totally randomized, like did you win or not? Just is totally a flip of whatever paragraph or whatever you get. So there's like tons of unlock boxes. We have miniatures, so you'll unlock things and find new places on the map. So like the map will change, the map will develop, and but it's all chock full of all of the good Greek mythology stuff, which has lots of violence and all kinds of great stuff. So
true. Awesome. So
so that's Tales of Myth and Legend, and it's available for pre-order on GameFound right now.
I'll have the link to the pre-order in the description of the podcast episode, so if anybody wants easy access to it, just scroll down a little and click the link. It'll take you right there. So I think it's time to get into our monthly topic, which, as I mentioned before, is all about us hitting the top 100 of Board Game Geek, our community, and more. And for those of you that maybe only play Final Girl and you're like, okay, of course it's in the top 100. I don't know if you know how many board games there are and how big of a feat it actually is to enter into the top 100 of all of those games, specifically because this is the first solo-only board game to ever enter the top 100 on Board Game Geek. So it's a pretty cool thing that's happened. I'm just going to ask questions. Evan, Jonesy, feel free to answer. But the first one I would love to know is, how did you feel when you first saw that Final Girl hit the top 100? What was that feeling for you?
I guess since I'm one of the designers, I can go first.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I've been watching the top 100 for like 2 years now. So like pretty consistently. I mean, studying the algorithm and the number of ratings and what rating, how the average geek rate, like all this kind of stuff. So I've been paying attention very closely for at least 2 years now. And so it's been obvious that we were going to hit it, that we were on a trajectory to hit it probably about a year ago. We knew we were going to get into the top 100 eventually. It was just a matter of how long it was going to take. And a big part of it, I think we thought it would happen a little sooner, but a big part of it was a lot of times new games will come out that are just super hot to trot.
Yeah.
They will skyrocket up the list and then jump ahead of us and then like take more spot. Like, so then it takes even longer for us to get there. But so how did I feel? Like, I don't know, it was very surreal. It was because I've been watching it for so long. It was very surreal to like reload the page and see it sitting there at 100. So, but it's been the culmination of a decade of work and planning. And obviously you don't have, we have very little control over whether a game gets into the top 100 or not. We can just make the best game possible and hope that people like it and then hope that people rate it. So we have very little control, but still it's been something that AJ and I, my co-designer, have been like dreaming of and thinking about for honestly for a decade. So it's incredibly exciting. But it was also kind of surreal since I've known it was going to happen. And it's kind of probably like when you get married.
Right.
Like you've been planning the wedding for a long time. You've been engaged to the person. You're probably already living with them. Like, and you've been thinking about getting married, and then ta-da, you get married, and then afterwards, it's like
it happened.
It happened. It doesn't like feel different, but this thing that you've been building and building towards has now happened, and you're like, whoa! It's a very surreal. It's a very surreal feeling.
It's a little bit of vindication for me because I've been like, this game's amazing for
Yeah.
like years. Like, it's my number one game. And there's so many people who are like, oh, but like a solo board game, I like to play with other people, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
you can play with other people if that's your thing. Do whatever you want to do. But like, I just feel like there's such a crazy passionate community behind this game that has been like singing its praises for years. And then I feel like so many people, when new people try it, they're like, oh, I get it. Even like Jeff and I just played Rotten Harvest. And I think I've told the story about his first experience with Final Girl and how it was
Yeah.
like punishing. And he's like, how do you like this? This is horrible. And he played Rotten Harvest and he got a 2-star roll and he's like, oh, that felt good. And I'm like, right? And he played it and immediately after was like, I really want to play that again. Like, should we do a whole series where we go through all the Final Girl games? I'm like, girl, you don't got to ask me twice. Like, I'm down. But I just think like when you get it, you get it. And so, yeah, I'm not surprised that it hit the top 100, but it's kind of a nice thing as somebody who's like, that's my favorite game. My little kid's in the top 100 and I'm so proud.
One of the things that makes it particularly challenging for a solo only game to make it into the top 100 is that all the other games are multiplayer. So,
Yeah.
there's lots of people who have rated those games who don't actually own it. They'll sit and play Terra Mystica or Agricola or, whatever with like a number of other people. And they'll be like, oh, I really like that. And then they'll go rate it because in a single game session, you have 5 people playing it or 4 people or whatever it is who can then potentially add a rating. And there's lots of people who rate every game that they play, whether they own it or not. Final Girl, I think there are probably very few people who have rated Final Girl on BGG who don't actually own it because it's a solo game, and so you only rate it if you've purchased the thing,
Right.
pretty much.
Oh, here's a question I didn't even think of because all of the different feature films are different entries in Board Game Geek.
Yes.
So in order for it to hit the top 100, people have to have rated the core box,
Yes.
that's on BGG. So that's interesting too, because somebody might be like, oh, well, I played, Camp Happy Trails, so I'm going to go rate that and not even think to rate like the core box of it. So it could have been in the top 100 way quicker.
Yeah, and that's just a consequence of our product
The
model,
system.
which,
Yeah.
Yeah. It took a while. Like early on, I think the fact that we had the core box and all the feature films impacted other things within BGG, like our ability to get into the hotness, all this other kind of stuff, because a lot of it was spread across so many different entries. But eventually, once the core box kind of like gained enough reviews and momentum, I think when people go to it now, they will rate the individual boxes. But it's very clear that if you're rating the system as a whole or the game as a whole, you're rating the core box,
Right.
Which is very clear by the number. We've got like 9,000 something ratings on the core box now. So anyone that goes, it's very clear. It's like, oh, this is what I rate if I want to share how I feel about Final Girl as a whole. But it took a little while for that, I think, to catch hold.
Yeah, that makes sense. And when you guys were creating the game and designing the game, at the very first one, did you ever imagine that it would get kind of this far? Is that always just kind of the hope, or did you know you had something special when you made it?
Nope. I mean,
nope.
Well, I had those kinds of experiences with some of our earlier games.
Right.
Our Detective City of Angels game, I had huge expectations for that, and it did very well. It's done very well. But I had huge expectations. I thought it was going to be our first $1 million Kickstarter. I thought it was going to win awards and all this other kind of stuff, and it has won some, but it hasn't it never became what I had hoped or thought it could be. And so that taught me a lesson that it doesn't matter how, we make the best games we possibly can every single time, and it doesn't matter how much I might love it. I might put it out there, and then other people be like, "Yeah, we don't like this." I actually just saw an interview with Jennifer Lawrence. She just had a movie come out, something New Day.
Is that the one with Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, and it's gotten bad reviews. It hasn't done well, and her husband was talking to her beforehand, and she was expressing anxiety that during the press tour that the movie was going to come out and no one's going to like it. And her husband was just like, well, but why? It's awesome. Like, this movie's great. It's like incredible. And she's like, yeah, I think so too, but I've experienced enough times me putting out something I think is amazing or awesome, and then other people are like, nah, we don't want that, or we don't like that. Like, you just never know. And so with Final Girl, again, we tried to make the best game we possibly could. We put our love of horror movies into it and everything. But and our first Kickstarter was very successful. But even then, that just has to do with like the window dressing. Does it look really, really good in the window? Did we make something that's really pretty and attractive and sticky and you really want to try it? We did. And a lot of people said yes, but once they get it in their hands, do they actually enjoy playing it?
Right.
I'm sure so many people have experiences of, backing something on crowdfunding that looked amazing or that they were so excited about, and then they got it and read through the rules and played it, and we're like, this is miserable.
Yeah.
But I know when I first knew we had something special with Final Girl was when we were at PAX for the first time with it. That might have been when you
it was
that I think was when you came by and got it for the first time.
Yep. It sure was. And I was like, what do I do? And then I can't remember, it was you, AJ, it was somebody. It's like, well, you could buy it all. And I was like, I could buy it all. That's a great idea. And I did. Thank God.
I was running demos of Final Girl at PAX, and I still remember 2 or 3 of the sessions I ran.
Right.
Which is crazy for, I've run demos for our games hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of times.
Yeah.
And I barely remember an individual session, and I still remember. And I remember sitting there and being almost as excited about watching them play it and what was happening as they were. And afterwards, I remember going back to the team and telling them, oh my gosh, we ran this demo and then this happened and she did this and this and this. And then I ran this demo and this happened. And that was the moment where I was just like, oh, I think this might be something really special.
Right. Yeah.
But that was way after we had designed it, created it, published it, marketed it. That was way after when I was just like, oh, okay, this could be something special.
Right. Yeah, it is. It's pretty great when you see somebody actually playing it and you're like, I know it's good and I've enjoyed it. I mean, that's what I feel like when I watch Jeff play and I'm sitting there trying not to tell him what to do and what not to do. But even my friends that I've been watching horror movies with, I'm like, oh my God, can next time you come over, I'm just going to set up Final Girl. I'll just teach you. I promise I won't make the moves for you. But I just want to I want to be there when you experience this because I know they're going to love it. And so I'm not surprised that you still have some of those plays that are so memorable because I have plays that are so memorable and on streams. And I just think it can be such an interactive game considering it's a solo game. If you play around other people, it's just well, what happened? It's I don't know. I got this blender and I shoved him in the blender. Now he's dead. That's what happened. Is there anything about the game's growth that still surprises you, even now? Because obviously, there's more feature films coming out. There's more planned. Is there anything that still surprises you?
I think the rabid is not the right word. Rabid implies a little bit of insanity or disease or something. Well. So rabid is not quite the right word, but the intensity and fervor of the fan base still. So, and it's been that way for a little while, but it still surprises me. And when we were at Gen Con this past year, which I think I probably talked about this on an early episode of the podcast, seeing people show up in full cosplay. They had spent a lot of time, money, and effort to build an outfit, a cosplay outfit for a character that we came up with.
Right.
And I imagine most of the people at the convention had no idea who they were. It wasn't like they were dressing up as Jinx from
Right.
Arcane, or Iron Man, or Darth Vader, or any number of anime characters, like, or One Piece, or,
Yeah.
Luffy, or whatever. Or, Pikachu. Like, they weren't dressing up as something that everybody was going to recognize. They were dressing up as like this obscure killer from a video, like from a board game.
Right.
And probably their big moment was wandering into our room and being like, ta-da, here I am. And us being like, oh my gosh, are you Geppetto? And so that was when that happened a bunch of times. Like it happened like 3 or 4 times. People showed up in like full outfits. And that's when I was just like, oh, wow.
Right.
And then I've seen people like get one guy was just like, hey, can you send me the Tormentor art? Like the full Tormentor art? I want to get a tattoo on my leg. I was like, okay, man. And then a year later, he sent me a picture of it, and he has like a full tattoo across his calf. Like it is like, I mean,
wow.
Of the Tormentor. I was like, oh my gosh.
Right.
So I think that still surprises me. There are people who just play Final Girl, and they're not like board gamers.
Yeah.
They just play Final Girl. That's all they play is Final Girl, Final Girl, Final Girl. So that still surprises me.
Yeah. It's a lifestyle game.
Jonesy. It's really not, but people treat it that way.
Yeah.
I guess Jonesy can attest to some of the fervency of the fan base.
Yeah, it was like this year's room at Gen Con was something. It was fantastic. Watching all these people playing Shriek, and then, like you said, all the people coming in cosplay. I mean, we had a whole group come in as a singular group cosplay. I think it was the Intruders. They had the boyfriend, they had the special meeples. It was fantastic. Oh, it's so good. So yeah, it was really cool just to see like a line in the morning for the signings, the lines forming for spots to play for sold out events. Like it was really cool. And then just in our Discord, I mean, there's always something going on. There's always people coming up with stuff and finding new ways to do things, new combos and things like that. And yeah, I think that's really cool. Just the way that like there's always something new to be found with the amount, like there's a ton of combinations. So there's a lot of that. It kind of builds into it with like the mix and match. But then as people start playing more of it, then you start seeing more like, oh, this would be really cool here. Like, so it's like when we're teasing out stuff, then it's like, oh, this would be really cool on this map or this killer or, these kinds of things. And so that's really cool to see like the pre-planning for like the leaks that we're putting out.
Yeah, I think it's cool, like, because it is one of those games, maybe it is because you play solo, that you're like, this crazy thing happened. I need to tell somebody about what just happened. And so like the Discord community is such a great place for that because you have so many people that will immediately understand what you're saying. You're like, I got this card and this happened and this was my horror roll. And like everybody's like, oh, like it's a great place. And I think that is, why the community part of it is so special is because it is a solo game, but it's like but you have this huge group of people that you can talk to about and like kind of debrief on your game and get tips and stuff. So I just think that's really great. I'm curious because Jonesy, you've been in the community for a while. Like you said, you joined even before you played the game, which is great. So how have you seen the community evolve over the past years?
I think I see more in like the fan creation and the share creation kind of side of things, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then like there's been other people who have just like started tournaments and started doing like a weekly combo that everybody plays together. And then from there, like that started off as just like, hey, let's play these combos. And then it's evolved into like, here's a backstory. I think the most recent like group of them have had a connected story that has been written like across multiple weeks. And so it's like, it's evolved from like a singular person wanting to do something that they thought was really interesting. And then like other people jumping on board and then it blossoming out into this let's do a whole story. Let's create custom events and custom items and stuff like that that fit the theme and the story of this combo that we're creating the story for. So I think that's been
Right.
really, really fun to watch. Like more people coming in, and with that, you have more talent and stuff like that in the community. That's like, yeah, let's all jump on board and let's create stuff. I think it's been
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's been members of the community, Alan in particular, who's like written stories for
Yeah,
like some of my streams or videos, and I'm like, okay, here's the combo, and he'll be like, hold on, I got this. Let me write you a backstory. I'm like, perfect, because I
yeah,
can't do that. But it's crazy that like they've got the story, they've got the dialogue, the character, and it's like, well, this is why Hans would be here, and here's yeah. So it's great. It's a very talented community, a lot of creativity in there for sure.
like with that, like you see a lot of diversity in the different appreciation for Fire Emblem. Like
Hmm.
there's the group that really likes the creative storytelling side. Like I have a harder time getting into the narrative side when I'm playing. I can see it when I'm
Hmm.
watching other people play, but like if I'm there playing, like I'm more focused on the mechanics and the gameplay
Sure.
and stuff like that. So like not being able to take myself out of the mechanics and then see the branching narrative that's happening. Um, but then I've seen other people who go back through and they're like, I'm gonna write like a short story based on this play, and it's like that's super cool. Like to
Yeah.
be able to go back through and have like a whole narrative of what all happened and like how these different events all kind of connected and stuff like that. It's been really cool.
Hmm. I like it because the community is like a great source for like rules for me when I stream. I've played this game probably 100 times, and every time I'm like, am I supposed to panic now? Oh, do I reveal the card now? And everyone's like, I'm like, chat, please tell me, because I can't remember. I'm like, I got too many rules stuck in my head, and like everybody knows. Like I don't even have to look at a rule book. I could just be like, all right, chat, you tell me, I'll find out in 60 seconds. I may have already done the wrong thing, but at least we'll know what the right thing to do is. Because, like, because it is that game for so many people, like, they'll know the rules off by heart for everything. And I think that's pretty great. For me, anyways, it's very helpful when I have a question.
I always like it too when we put out the rule book before the feature film comes out, and then everybody has the rules ahead of time. And they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, like that. Let's do this." And
Yeah.
and
I
so
got it.
when you get to those moments on like the streams that are kind of showing off the new feature film, and it's like, oh, there's a whole bunch of people here who've also I have the rules like pulled up and like ready and all that kind of stuff too, and so they're chiming
Yeah.
in.
And everybody has their different and unique strategies. Like, I know the way that I play Final Girl is a lot different than a lot of other people. And I'll be playing, and people are like, well, do this, do this. I'm like, oh, yeah, I never even thought about doing that. Like, good. Yeah. So it's kind of fun to see how, like, it's a game that can be played in so many different ways. Like, are you going to be more offensive? Are you going to get items or not? Because I generally, like, I don't usually get items a lot. And then if there's something really cool, people want to see how it's used and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I just think it's fun that everybody can play the game so differently. Well, since we're chatting, Jonesy, I would love to know, what was your first experience with Final Girl, and what was it about it that kind of hooked you?
Yeah, so my first experience after I got it was I opened up. It was like the day or two. I think it was the day before Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. So my wife got me season one.
Mm-hmm.
She did this whole thing where it was like, oh, everybody sold out. I couldn't get a copy. So like so on and so on. And then was like, well, we're snowed in, so here's your Christmas present. And so like I got all of season one. And so I was like, all right, well, I guess this is what I'm gonna do tonight. And open it up, learn how to play. Immediately died to Hans very
Yeah,
quick, like
that checks out.
very quickly. And I was like, okay, like I know people said it was hard. I didn't realize what I was getting into initially. And so it's like, here we go. Like, I don't like to lose. So
Yeah.
then it was like, let's do it right again. Like, we're loading it right back up and we're going to play it again. And then I started to like figure out like patterns and stuff like that's kind of how my brain works a lot of times. And so it's like, here's the puzzly bits and let's figure all that out. And so I started getting that down. And then I remember it was early on. It was like within the first couple weeks, I think, of playing. I was in the Discord and I was like, I want to make sure I'm doing everything right. And this was the
Mm-hmm.
first time I like recorded anything, wrote down anything. I was like, I'm going to play Night of the Pig, and I beat it on the first try. And then I was like, I just want to make sure, did I do this right? And then people went through and read through like my write up with like how I played, and I'm like, yeah, like that's like you didn't miss anything. And I was like, that was cool. So that was really fun. Um, to like do that initially. I don't know if like I haven't played Night of the Pig in a while. Yeah, I like to like jump in and start playing, and it's like, all right, let's jump in with it. I know there's some people in the Discord who started with Night of the Pig as their first play.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So that sounds like a miserable experience. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that was my first
Night of
experience
the
with that.
Night of the Pig was the only scenario we've ever done that was created that way. I essentially was like, I'm trying to design the hardest possible combination here. And I probably played it 6 times. Each time I was like refining it. Like, okay, what if I remove this or not let you have this? And then I'd beat it. And I was like, okay, it's not hard enough. And then I kept going until I got to a version that I lost 2 or 3 times on. I was like, okay, this is it. But that took so much time. I probably spent like 8 hours working on that scenario to get it as hard as possible. And then I was like, this is completely unsustainable to create all of these scenarios. So now the rest of them are not going to be even like, we're not going to spend we would never have finished them if we had spent that much time. Unfortunately, it happened to be the first one, and people will load it up and go like, oh, I should play this one first. I should play this one first. And it just happens to be the most brutal scenario we could concoct.
Thing like with Night of the Pig is because kind of like the way that you were saying, Jamie, like I don't tend to go for items anyway. So like it fit my play style a lot. Where it's like, all right, like
Right.
I don't have weapons. I'm not gonna go for them. We're just gonna go do the thing that we're supposed to do to win
Right.
and hope we survive. So yeah,
Amazing.
I think that fit my play style. So I think that's why
Yeah.
that was helpful.
Do you have a favorite feature film or a favorite combo of like killer and location that you like to play?
The Haunting of Creech Manor, it tends to be one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like I like Poltergeist a lot. I think the thing that I like the most is when it changes up the formula. So it's like it's not just Poltergeist. So Poltergeist, Terror from Destiny, The Birds, like all these things that have these different ways of winning that's not just killing the killer. Like
Right.
those are the ones that I'm like, okay, let's get those to like I get those to the table. I think more often than not, just because they're more of the puzzly kind, and so they scratch that itch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. I like to kind of throw those ones in, but there's something about killing the killer that I feel is very
Oh yeah,
satisfying. I'm
there
like,
is
I did
for sure.
it. Yeah. What does the community manager role kind of look like for you and for a game with such a passionate fan base?
It's been really cool because a lot, like I said, like there's a lot in the community that are kind of doing things that like I
Mm-hmm.
think a community manager would typically kind of do. So like creating these like tournaments and weekly challenges and the things that get the community engaged are being done a lot of the time by the community already.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been really cool. So it's like, okay, how can I come alongside, these community members that are doing these things and support, what they're doing.
Right.
Um, so a lot of it's more of like, let's do some fun events, and here's kind of what we're seeing, and here's what we've got coming out. So like in October, we did a fun little like advent calendar thing every day, and so like we did a
Mm-hmm.
ton of leaks for that. So that was really cool.
And what excites you the most about kind of the future of the Final Girl community as it kind of continues to grow?
I think I think the biggest thing has been like seeing other people kind of come up with ideas that they have
Mm-hmm.
and implementing them. So it's like we had Madi do Buddyland, and it was a really cool like change on the normal. So like
Mm-hmm.
seeing like guest designers come in with ideas, I think is really cool. Not I don't know if that's necessarily under the community side of things, but like I think it kind of fits in there. And then yeah, like I said, in the share your creations, we got a lot of people that are doing a lot of really cool things
Mm-hmm.
with character packs and feature films and killers and stuff like that. And then with the make your own tools, like the things they come up with for
Mm-hmm.
final girls, for uh, item cards and events. Especially the things that they put into the weekly challenges has always been really cool. So I think seeing that evolve and grow and
Right.
more tools for unleashing creativity.
Love that. And a question I do love to ask to everybody. If you could design a feature film, what would it be? What's your killer? What's your location? What would it be based off of?
So I think what I would want is um, like a location based vignette
Oh,
where it shifts like kind of a take on like escape room where you've got some shifting locate like I really like what happened with Hellscape where you have like the
yeah.
shifting tiles um but then kind of taking that and expanding on it a little bit with
Mm-hmm.
different rooms and non-rooms and like Winchester Mystery House kind of feel to it and
Mm-hmm.
doing something like that. I think that could be a lot of
Cool.
fun.
And I guess this
All
one
right.
is probably for you, Evan, and even you, Jonesy. But what message would you like to share with the fans who helped push Final Girl to that top 100 spot?
Um, I mean, thank you very, very much. Thank you for buying the game. Thank you for playing it. I mean, thank you for enjoying it, but thank you for investing so much in it and believing it and rating it and telling your friends about it and bringing your friends who like horror movies over and insisting that they play it.
Heck yeah.
And you know, making your husband play it and like all of so much. Thank you so much for all of the enthusiasm you've poured into it. So I think that more than reaching the top 100, I mean, we wouldn't have made it into the top 100 without that kind of
Mm-hmm.
fan support. But even more so than making into the top 100, which is kind of a nice feather in the cap. Just the excitement of the fans really, really, we really treasure and appreciate and value that.
Yeah, and keep playing.
Mm-hmm. And keep playing, yes. buy all the other stuff that we're going to make for it.
Yes. Well, because if you do, then that means we just get more and more and more, and I don't see any problems with that on my end. All right, Evan, let's have some fun.
I am using ChatGPT to come up with
Old Faithful.
Final Girl trivia questions.
Ooh, spicy.
Which I'm looking at some of these and I'm like, I don't know the answer to that. Also, I don't think that's right. So I think
Keep it.
so
Yeah,
I think this will be pretty
great.
entertaining. All right, we'll start out with some easy ones, and then we'll go to medium, and then we'll go to difficult. I'm always fascinated by what ChatGPT thinks is in Final Girl and stuff, because a lot of this I think is we're gonna be like, okay, all right. All right, here we go. Which, and you guys, we can all answer together, whatever.
Yeah.
Which Final Girl faces off against the Poltergeist in the Creech Manor scenario? There's two of them, but
I know what they look like. Is that helpful? I'm not good with the Final Girl names.
I know the name of one of them. I don't know. Do you know both of them, Jonesy?
I think so. I think it's Alice and Selena.
It is. It's
Wow.
It's Alice and Selena. All right. The final girl who faces off against the Poltergeist in Creech Manor is Selena. It's also Alice, but it is Selena. All right. Here's another. Jamie, I'm a little disappointed, Jamie.
I'm not gonna know.
These are the easy questions.
Listen, I can't even remember the rules for a game I've played 100 times, so it's fine.
All right. What resource is spent to take actions such as walking, searching, or attacking?
cards. Time. Horror rolls. I'm just going to say everything. The resource is time.
What's the resource?
It's time.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
The resource you spend to take actions like walking, searching, or attacking is time. Okay, I got that right. All right, this is a funny one. Which location has a dark power deck that enhances the killer as the game progresses? What? Like all of them?
I was like, all of them? Literally? Oh, ChatGPT. Makes me feel better as the robots are
with a dark power deck that enhances the killer as the game progresses is Camp Happy Trails. Well, this is true.
It's true.
There are other ones too.
Does Camp Happy Trails have a dark power, location-based dark power? Or is it just them all?
No, I think it's using location as feature film. Again, we're experiencing the limits of AI here. In The Haunting of Creech Manor, what specific item can help you locate and save Carolyn more efficiently?
Specific item. There's a specific item that you need.
No, but there's an item that can help you find her. Do you know what it is? I think it's... Is it the list of things?
Oh, yeah.
I don't get items.
Yeah, there's like a list that lets you cross off, like, or search through a room and basically eliminates a room.
Oh.
I was thinking Selena's Ultimate.
Oh, the radio? Is there a radio in Creech Manor? No, I gotta go check. I literally gotta go check my own game because I'm not sure. Is there a radio?
Google it.
Google it.
Try Gemini.
I don't think there's a radio in here. No. Yeah, a list of things in the... You reveal all the item cards. Yeah, a list of things in the blank. Roll a die, and between the garage, closet, and attic, reveal all of the item cards in the deck. That is the one that would help you. Rope ladder, padlock, ritual dagger. There is no radio. Yeah, that's right, ChatGPT. I was right, and you were wrong.
Stupid robots.
I feel vindicated. All right, here's another medium. What happens when the final girl clears all available victims from the map by rescuing them?
Well, that's not actually what happens. They clear enough to put on their card, and then they flip their card, and they get superpowers. Yes. But you don't have to clear all of them.
I would say the answer.
When you rescue all available victims on the map, the final girl becomes Final Girl Powered.
Final Girl Power!
You flip her Final Girl card to unlock her unique special ability. Why? That's fascinating. The ChatGPT. We should just talk. You've become Final Girl Powered.
You are Final Girl Power.
All right, here's one I don't know the answer to, which I think is also not real. Which location features hiding spots that grant defensive bonuses but limit mobility?
No, ChatGPT. It don't exist. Hiding spots? There aren't any.
You don't know.
The location with hiding spots that grant defensive bonuses but restrict movement is Maple Lane. I don't think that's true.
Nope. You're wrong.
Do you know what would be really
bad trivia questions, robot overlords?
Interesting activity to put the parameters of a Final Girl feature film into ChatGPT and just be like, design me one, and just see what it comes up with. That would be hilarious, because it would be like way off. Final Girl Power.
All right, here's one. In Slaughter in the Groves, which exact event card causes the killer to immediately convert a rescued victim into a bloodlust increase?
Divine Death. I don't know.
we don't know the answers. Listen, if we collectively can't answer these questions,
they
are too hard.
Or the card doesn't exist.
I don't remember that card.
The card that causes the killer to immediately convert a rescued victim into bloodlust increases is The Ritual Begins.
I was close.
I don't remember that. Is that a card? Event cards, Sacred Groves.
It's been a while since I've played Sacred Groves.
This is the lovely thing, is that I have access to all of these files on my computer.
Yeah, you should know that one. You designed it, Evan.
I did design it. I don't think there's one called The Ritual Begins.
It
Hallowed Ground, Unholy Bloodshed, Flash Photography, The Uber Tourist, Loud and Obnoxious, The Gods Hate Failure, Fire and Brimstone, Closed for Maintenance, Tour Guide, Holy Man. Nope. Do you think it means Tarot Card? It might mean Tarot Card.
Probably.
Stupid ChatGPT. This is like the worst fun trivia we've had. Oh, here's one. In Killers from the Crypt, what is the specific interaction between the Gravedigger's dark power and the corpse tokens that make late-game board states especially dangerous?
Where's it getting this from? Killers.
What is Killers from the Crypt?
I love Killers from the Crypt. That's my favorite.
I'm here for it.
Has anyone made a fan-based thing that I'm not aware of called Killers from the Crypt?
I mean, would that be part of like
Gravedigger
zombies?
Killer?
Zombies are kind of like
know.
from the crypt.
Answer to 20 Killers from the Crypt. That's great. We should. The Gravedigger's dark power causes corpse tokens on the map to increase his bloodlust and/or trigger extra movement and attacks whenever he interacts with or processes them. As more corpse tokens accumulate, this actually sounds really cool.
It does.
Like, that's cool. He kills a victim and leaves the corpse there, and then he like does stuff to the corpses. That's a great idea.
Thanks, robots.
Thank you, Chet. Killers. Creating a late game state where every corpse on the board compounds his power, making him significantly more lethal with each activation.
That feels like they're trying to talk about the zombies, because like when they get in the same space, they make a horde. And zombies are technically corpses.
In Sacred Grove. You know what? This has just turned into, let's just read the bizarre questions that ChatGPT came up. In Sacred Groves, what sequence of steps is required to flip the nature spirit enemy to its enraged form?
It's an ent. Treebeard.
In Into the Void, what is the precise penalty triggered when the oxygen track reaches its second to last space? The oxygen track.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
One of my favorite games is where I played the organism on the Conrad and didn't even test any of them. I don't know if it was legal or not, but I just faced everybody. I blew up the ship and took it out.
Said bye.
I'm going to go ahead and say that we win.
We win! We win, and now you have an excellent idea about corpses. So there you go.
Right, so,
win.
So, fellow fans, when you ask ChatGPT to make you trivia questions, it's not very good at
Don't
it.
expect
Which
much.
I also experienced when I did our trivia with Holly Black.
Yeah.
And like it was a lot of crap.
Yep. Classic.
I do like the Gravedigger.
Yeah,
I
that's
now need
cool.
to go find out who has made a Gravedigger feature film. Like, where did it come up with that?
I don't know.
That's fascinating. If Jonesy doesn't know that it exists, it probably doesn't exist.
Right. We're going to have to bleep that whole part out so Evan can go design it.
I know. I actually have a feature film that's similar to that, but different, that I'm working on.
Ooh. Secrets. All right, friends, that is everything that we have for today's episode. Thank you to our special guest, Jonesy, for joining us and for the great discussion. Jonesy, where can our listeners find you, and what exciting things are going on in the world of you and community management?
Discord is probably the closest or the best place. And then we've got socials, Facebook, X, Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok. We got places everywhere, but Discord is Discord's the best place.
Awesome.
Just reiterate again, how can people join our incredible Final Girl and Van Ryder Games Discord?
Yeah, you can go through our link tree, which is linked Can we have that in the description or the little
We sure
thing
can.
below?
It's always
Yeah,
down
we'll
there.
get a link. Yep. And yeah, you just click on that, join our Discord, and then hang out with all of us.
Yeah, it's fun.
Great place.
Awesome. It's fun. Join or else. It's where we talk about the grave
Join or else
diggers.
Togs will show up.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you all so much for listening. We will be back again next month with another episode, but I think that's it for today. So now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.